What's up, geniuses? Welcome back to For the Record. I'm your host, Rob Markman. It is a glorious time of music. It is a glorious time of hip-hop because one of the most highly anticipated albums of the past 2 years has finally dropped. I'm going to be honest, I never thought it was coming out. I gave up hope a long time ago, but Lil Uzi blessed us on Friday with his new album, Eternal Atake. And to talk about it, I had to get two of the biggest, sometimes a little annoying Uzi fans that I know. Now I'm just joking, man. These are my colleagues, man. We're here at Genius. First up, we have Genius News producer and host, Tia Hill. Tia, what's up?
Hey, Rob. Good to see you.
I feel like you're gonna really shine today.
Thank you. Me too.
Nah, man, there's a lot. Look, I need all the Uzi memes. I need you to break it all down for me. And then next up, we have our senior correspondent for Genius News with the well-lotioned hands, well-manicured, my guy, Jacques Morel. What up, man?
What's up?
How you doing?
Great, man. It's a glorious day. You love to see it.
Yeah?
You know?
Did you think this was coming out? Because I didn't think this was coming out.
Honestly, around like April 2019, it was like when the two songs I released, That's a Rack and Sing of Paradise,
Right.
it seemed like it was going to come out. And then like, about 6 months ago, September, no, I wasn't really feeling it.
It's like a false start.
It was a false start. But like, as of like 2 weeks ago, like here we are.
Okay. Let's talk about Lover's Rage 2 era into Eternal Atake. Wasn't easy to get here. There was label struggles. Who wants to talk us through just what happened, a timeline?
Jacques?
Yeah. Because like I feel like we've been
you guys have been the experts.
We've been doing so much Uzi.
So much Uzi over the last like couple of years. Like shout outs to the Uzi fans and like the algorithm, right? But really quickly, right? Like he announces it in July 2018, and like this is after like Love is Rage 2. Everybody loved Love is Rage 2. You got Neon Guts on it, you got Saucing Up, you got EXO Tour Llif3, and like Uzi becomes like a mainstream star. So people are like, what the hell is Eternal Atake? And this is back when we were saying Eternal Atake.
It's a cult.
It is right? The whole Heaven's
big
Gate. Big cult energy, right? And, nothing really comes out. He says it's done at Rolling Loud in December. And then after that, like, it still doesn't release. And all of a sudden, he's talking about he wants to retire from rap. He says he wishes he woke up in, like, 2013 again. And, like, he's having, like, label beef with DJ Drama and Generation Now. And, like, this is when, like, Rock Nation kind of swoops in, which is kind of prescient now with Meg Thee Stallion. But
I think every time you say what Rock Nation swoops in, I want to hear the Law and Order. Like, whenever a rapper is having some legal trouble or something like that, Rock Nation comes through and fixes the contract. Law and Order, Rock Nation. That was my idea. Put it out there. Jana, what's up? We gotta make that happen.
Detective Stabler, right?
Yeah.
Detective Stabler Hope, like, and like but then Uzi drops Free Uzi, and where he's clearly taking shots at Generation Now, and then also all of a sudden, like a month later, it's like April 2019 when I mentioned earlier, Sang in Paradise and That's a Rack, and like these songs are also urged on by leaks because they were almost leaked,
right?
And then even then, we thought it was gonna come out.
Yeah.
I was speaking with Finesse working on Dying, and like he had felt that Rock Nation had really made something happen. It was gonna come out, but nothing dropped, and all we got was just Uzi features. He's still doing shows, and then like literally fast forward like 9 months or so, we're here. It's like crazy how fast it feels like it was.
Do we even know what the holdup really was?
I mean, I like to just assume that it was his label drama from last year, but then all of a sudden, like the last few weeks, he's been on Twitter like scaring me. I'm always like, oh my gosh, it's about to come, and then it didn't. And then Friday, it was just,
There we go.
I was just speaking with Brandon Finesse, and he mentioned like that a big part of it was leaks. He's like, every single time it would leak, right? Every single time something would leak, he's like, we would just have to make new music.
But you also spoke to that guy who leaks, right? And
Oh,
you have
yeah.
to protect your sources. And he was like, it's an artist's duty to put music out. If he doesn't put it out, then we deserve to have it, so I'm going to leak it, which was bullshit.
People feel
Yes,
real
I
entitled.
agree.
But
It's like, honestly, we just live in an era where people are so used to getting something instantly, and like it's have a bunch of kids that are like hyper online. They just find out ways to get it instantly.
that's y'all's generation, for real. So
Adjacent. Gen Z adjacent over here.
I want to understand this album, right? So the album is kind of, there's like three parts to it, right? It starts off like the baby Pluto, you know what I'm saying? Then we get into the Renji kind of section of the album, and then we get like Uzi's persona towards the end. What's the science behind that?
you see, these are things that are still coming out.
I know, because he'd been tweeting about, like, call me Renji, call me baby Pluto, all of these things leading up to it. And I'd like to think that he's thought so far ahead into this album rollout that over time he's going to keep releasing little clues for us. And the fact that he even dropped that trailer, which I totally was not expecting, I feel like he hopefully would drop something else in the future to give us a little bit more about that, because the album it went along with it, but I feel like he has something else up his little sleeve, and I'd really like to.
Little sleeve.
Yeah.
That sounded so condescending.
No, in like a cute way.
To start off, I don't know who Baby Pluto is, but that motherfucker be rapping.
Yeah, Baby Pluto is essentially like his basically as he's been teasing these songs, he's been listening to a lot of Future.
Right.
And he explained that Baby Pluto is like him paying homage to Future.
But no, I got that part right.
Uh-huh.
But I hear a lot of Wayne. In the bars, right? When he says, what bar did he have? Look, I'm gonna look this up. On Pop, he says, man, I kill these every day like Kenny. If you want money back, Crawford like Cindy Crawford, but Crawford crawl for it like Cindy, like the way he bend the word. Like I was like, oh shit, that kind of remind me of some Wayne shit. Like I'm gonna be real. It's like the shit that excites me as far as lyricism goes comes from a different era.
Yeah.
Like it's no secret. But I could appreciate wordplay and this shit just reminded me of Wayne when Wayne was just going. Like he even starts that song Pop with the whole song starts, he just is like straight bars. And then he just goes.
I mean, even the Wayne influence, right? Like Cindy Crawford, like not to like that's a very like Gen X reference. Like, how old was Lil Uzi Vert when Cindy Crawford was at her height in like the early 90s, right? So like the fact that you spotted that, and I thought the same thing too when I heard Pop. I'm like, yeah, like definitely.
I feel like also on Eternal Atake, he's kind of proving, I mean, I don't feel this way about him, but I feel like a lot of people assume they like lumped him in when he first came out with like, oh, SoundCloud rappers, mumble rappers, like they can't really rap. And then you hear this album and it's just sonically so amazing. He's got such crazy bars on it, and I feel like he's really proving himself with this project for everyone who doubted him.
Well, I'm gonna say that the SoundCloud rap, he was kind of like at the top of that heap. So he was the one of the ones that was setting the style for everybody to come after him. And then it's funny because there is this, there was this criticism that SoundCloud rappers can't rap, but the shit that frustrated me was because they all come here to do Verify, like. Motherfuckers will come here and be like, nah, but I could rap for real. And it'll usually be like the last song on their album when they like really. Yeah. And I'm like, if you could rap, then fucking rap. Like you don't have to like. It kind of feels
Rob.
like I'm creating a vibe and I'm ashamed to rap.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily saying this about Uzi because Uzi, out of kind of this generation of MCs, obviously there's a new style that's taken forth. But the effort that he puts into his actual rhymes is impressive quite often. There's times when the song doesn't call for it, but. I never thought that Uzi couldn't rap if he wanted to. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the rest of these motherfuckers, like if you want to rap, and you don't have to save it for the last song on your album. That's the frustrating thing. Like we talk about rap. Now I'm getting on my soapbox.
Yeah.
But we talk
about
the art of rap like it's a dirty thing. Like, or it's something to be ashamed of, and everybody wants to be a rock star and this and that, and nobody wants to be a rapper. Nah, man, rap got us here, bro.
Rob, who hurt you, Rob?
Everybody, man. Post Malone did it. What else stands out? The production. I want to talk about maybe one of the most interesting pieces of production on this comes from You Better Move.
Yeah.
Break that down. Who wants to break that down?
Well, shout out to Space Cadet. Like I don't know if anybody else like this. I don't know if I'm dating myself here, but like we all remember getting like 1 million points in that game. Basically, You Better Move samples the sounds from Space Cadet, that old Windows 95, 98 game. And like one of the few games that were like available on it when you go to like start and go to games and stuff like that. Wow.
Specific.
Yeah, big boomer energy. But like I feel like it's just like really expansive, and like it's also speaking with Brandon today, Brandon mentioned how like Uzi thinks about it and he does it. So like Uzi has a hand in all of these.
So
samples.
Was that his idea to sample the pinball game?
So that's the one thing, like in the haste of getting all these, like, doing all this reporting today that I forgot
you
to
didn't
ask.
ask that question?
But like,
Jesus.
I
like,
know, right?
noted.
I know. I'm dragging myself for it. But at the same time, like just like having spoken to all these people that have worked with him and just knowing that like effectively Uzi is there as a general saying, let's try this, let's do this, let's try this, let's do this.
Prices samples Travis Scott's way back. Look at Tia's reaction. Did you see Tia's
Yeah,
reaction?
So good.
She
Oh my
lights
God.
up.
It's
you know?
so
And he really thanked Travis for clearing the sample. Like, was there a world where Travis wasn't going to clear that sample?
No, that's
They'd
what I
be
was
like,
thinking too. I was like, there's no way that Travis could be like, no, but it sounded great to
Yeah.
me because I already knew that was going to be in there just from. I mean, we had just done a video on it before, and he dropped the trailer, and that sample was in there. But then when I heard the real song today, I was still like, oh, when I heard it play, and it was just so. It was seamless, and it was just that is a great song,
And it's the best part of that song, like in my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like that, like, you know,
that makes it.
yeah, because it's like a part two of that song, you know, and like
Yeah.
that's just part of the song I'm always humming to myself after I listen to it.
okay. We get to the beginning of the Renji section,
Yeah.
which is like feelings. Sorry, right? It's more melodic. Who do we think Uzi is talking about when he says that's why you can't fuck with fans? Damn.
I
What's
mean,
her name?
Brittany Bird, like
Yeah.
I feel like he's been rapping about Brittany,
I'm sad.
yeah, for like 5 years.
This is the beginning.
You know,
When someone breaks your heart.
I know. I mean, like, and he's young too. Like, so he's been rapping about it since he was 20. You know, and it's just, I mean, a muse is a muse. You know, like, and when she was his muse in that sense, like, he was making some of his best work, and you know, like, I guess, like, this is it. Like, you know, he's getting a little introspective. So I cannot confirm or deny that's who he's talking about, but it just makes sense because we haven't seen him linked with anyone else. And a lot of this rollout has been...
Well, he said he's been celibate for 2 years.
I was just about to bring that up, right? Like, a lot of it's been said, like, he hasn't dated anybody, he hasn't done anything else. So
Fuck Dave. He said he hasn't had sex in
Sex,
2 years.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we don't need to date to have sex. Like, he's abstaining. Like, that's great. Well,
yeah.
Made a good album though. So
shout to whoever. It's almost like a boxer, right? Like
Just about to say that.
before you know you go into a fight, they say a boxer is not supposed to have sex because you kind of lose whatever that edge.
Yeah. But
Okay. I kind of feel if it is about Britney, it's like, man, it's time to move on, baby.
it is...
Like I kind of feel like, remember when A Boogie first came out, Still Think About You, and it was the girl that kind of, because people forget when A Boogie first launched his career, it was kind of centered around the relationship and his broken heart. And A Boogie is fine now.
Yeah,
he's doing this like that he ain't looking
artist,
back.
he's fine.
Yeah.
He's singing all over the place. He's
Nah,
good.
that's dope. P2,
oh yes.
sequel to EXO Tour Life, man.
Yeah.
What do we think?
I just talked to TM88 actually. And
Shout
he
to the
was-
bro.
He was talking about how they made that song in January, and I thought, I am not a producer, I thought he just used the same beat, but no, he basically took pretty much the same beat and then like changed the melody a little bit and like added some things. And he said they recorded it like on FaceTime, and Uzi was just like, I want the EXO Tour Life vibes again. And
Wait,
he was
Uzi
like,
recorded his vocals on FaceTime?
yeah, he said they were on FaceTime for like 3 hours or something, and then Uzi he wrote some of it and then called him and then started rapping to him.
Okay, but he didn't
They
record.
obviously
He
did
didn't
not
spin
screen
it over
record.
FaceTime. Okay.
I don't
no,
think that's what happened. No,
yeah,
but they
yeah.
wrote it together on FaceTime, and it's just like a perfect continuation. Obviously, it was called Part 2, but you know, same everything, same melody and everything, same like message of the song is the same. You can check out the song story on Genius News on YouTube.
I'm gonna be honest. That one has to grow on me. Maybe like when I heard it, like
Really?
I was.
Do you
'cause
like EXO Tour Life?
love EXO Tour Life. Like it's a
Okay.
classic, but it was just like maybe if it would have came right after EXO Tour Life, like maybe. You know what I'm saying? But I was kind of just like, okay, I've been here. I'm ready to see where he takes
Something
us
new.
outside of here. If I'm being honest.
I agree with Rob because like
Ooh,
everyone
it all
is
comes
like
out now.
Yeah, I know, right? Like everyone's like kind of like coalescing around this one song, and I'm just kind of like, I feel like there are a bunch of other songs in the album that are better than it, but I think it's just, you know, this is what people heard already, and EXO Tour Life was such a big song that people were just excited for a part.
Yeah.
Like I could just play EXO Tour Life again.
That's true, but I
Yeah.
think part of the reason people love it, it's not my favorite song on the album.
Okay.
I do like it, but I think part of the reason people like it so much is because the last they heard of Uzi was like his old projects, so it's kind of like him talking to the fans. I would like to think being like, I see you and I know it's been so long, and here I am dipping back into that with something new. I'm just
That sounds like a very romanticized version.
just saying
when
that.
really what
I
it
mean,
probably was
look at
like,
it. I
yo,
agree.
that worked for us. Do it again. Like-
the man plans things in
So-
advance.
I like your romanticized
So
version.
cynical, Rob.
This the record business or not? This
Fair,
how it
yeah,
works,
you're
man.
right, you're right.
He's like, first of all, let's rap.
In the words of Irv Gotti, this is the do it again business.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you got hit, do it again.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's it, man. Now, urgency, man. I want to get into urgency. Because there's a line here, and I want to know who y'all think this is for. All these boys, they can't find it. And that little boy, he be lying. Keep on trying to take my persona. Bite me up like a piranha.
Look.
Come on, don't get political now, bro.
Look.
Come on. I know you just lotioned up your hands.
You know, all this hand washing, got me,
Yeah.
Shout out coronavirus.
Shout out to coronavirus. I mean, like the obvious, like place it could be is
Don't let me influence you neither, because you know
no,
fair.
fair. Is like Playboy Cardi, right? But I don't necessarily think that they're necessarily like Playboy Cardi would be biting from Uzi, because I feel like they have two different styles.
I don't think they don't sound the same at all.
They don't sound the same. So it's like, I feel like, it could just be like a general boast. He could just be speaking to like
He did father a lot of styles. Uzi fathered a lot of styles.
Yeah.
But I felt like early on in Cardi's career, there was a lot of similarities to me. There was a lot of proximity to Uzi.
They came out, it was like at the same time.
But they wasn't the same.
No, exactly. They're not the same.
No, I'm talking about Uzi is the same Savage and a different beast. Did I get that right? Is that the Kobe thing? Uzi is in a class by himself. Like,
no, that's true. But I don't
like it's
think
Uzi, and then it's like everybody else.
But they don't sound
with
the
that style.
same.
Okay.
And I don't think old Cardi sounded like.
And Cardi was out before.
Especially-
Cardi had.
Plus,
Broke
like
Boy and
old
all that.
Uzi doesn't even sound like he does now. So old Uzi doesn't sound like, if current Uzi sounded like old Cardi, it doesn't. So.
Okay, all right.
Whole lot of Red ain't never coming out.
I know. I know.
Your favorite track?
Silly Watch. It's right before Pop. Because when I heard that beat, I was like, oh my gosh, Uzi. Okay. It was.
In
it
that
was
voice,
crazy.
just like that?
Yes, that's
Okay.
at my desk. I was like, oh my gosh. But no, it was that was a good track. And that's the one, I've been replaying a lot of them, but that is the first one I go back to in my little mini Eternal Take playlist on Spotify.
Jacques, what's your favorite joint?
Pop,
Pop is dope.
Homecoming, I love Lo Mein, like
You were talking about the
yeah, support Lo Mein, no, I love Lo Mein. Urgency's cool, but like my favorite track, I think at the moment has to be Pop, and I love That Way too.
Right.
Like,
Is That Way gonna be a hit?
I mean, honestly, like it's a classic Backstreet Boys song, like and it's like it's a meme. Like you could just walk up to someone random, and he's like, "You are," and then they'll finish the rest of the lyrics. My fire, my one desire.
I don't know anybody who can finish the lyric. I don't. In my friend group,
probably.
I'm just saying. But again, I'm a little older than you. Like,
Fair,
I get it.
And I'm also from Long Island, so
Right.
it's a much
I didn't
different.
say it.
Much different. But like, I feel like That Way has some major crossover potential.
Right.
But the thing that's interesting about That Way, it's a bonus track.
It's true. And Futsal Shuffle. But what does that mean?
I think it's probably a bonus track because of the way he structured the album with the Baby Pluto, the Renji, and the Uzi, where it was just like it was convenient to stick it at
true.
the
It
end
doesn't,
and
like,
that it fit. I could see. I'm waiting to see if he does a video for That Way. I was no big Backstreet fan, but what might be cool if he gets them to be in the video and they do the old choreography.
That would.
Or
might be
it
dope.
could also be like, to be cynical, this is the record business, right? Is that like they paid so much money to Max Martin to clear that sample that they're gonna put it has to be at the album regardless.
Right.
You know?
It could be that too. So you could get cynical over that, but when I say that they kind of forced part two,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, all of a sudden I'm being.
There's sentimental
that
value
guy.
there.
I feel you. Nah. I don't hate the record.
Yeah.
I just was like,
Also, Chrome Heart Tag.
Chief Keef.
Chief Keef, like that, like that beat's crazy, like the song is crazy, like so many flows. Like, I mean, it's only one day, it's only been a couple hours,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, my favorites, and because I got to dig into it more, but are like the first four, like Baby Pluto, Lo Mein, Silly Watch, Pop. Like that run of records is really dope to me. I think Prices is dope. I like Secure the Bag. It's some like really dope moments on here. The one thing I was missing, I felt like, I know he been throwing shots at Drama. And I don't know that him and Drama are cool or if they totally fixed. But it always felt like Don Cannon was like in the middle and Don Cannon wasn't getting a lot of the smoke.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some Don Cannon production on here, man. I would love to see what him and Don Cannon could cook up.
So one thing that's I spoke with Bugs Ronan. He's a dude that produced Secure the Bag. Bust Me and a couple of the tracks. And he mentioned that like this tape is different from Uzi's other tapes, especially like his mainstream work. It's like Uzi worked with a bunch of producers that people hadn't really heard of. So yeah, like Don Cannon would have been like dope to hear, right? Like I thought we were gonna get a Pharrell track on this, you know? Like I really thought that was gonna be the case. But I feel like Uzi really just like kind of worked with people like, you know, the Working on Dying crew, like Oogie Mane, Finesse, Brandon Finesse, and like he grew up with these kids. Like Uzi was like really trying to get away from like a major label thing from like the generation down from like Atlantic. Like he was trying to just do it on his own, and like this is what he came out with. So yeah, it would have been awesome to hear like Cannon. That would have been great. But like it feels like, you know, he just kind of this whole rollout. Just feel like he got the keys to the castle, and this is what he's doing.
He earned it. He definitely earned it to do it the way that he sees fit.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all coming on the show. I really like we did this. The album has just been out for a short time.
Yeah.
And as I'm listening to it, I wanted to understand it more. And we just thought, who better than, again, the two biggest Uzi fans I know. I was just joking when I said y'all was annoying at the beginning. Y'all definitely not. I learned so much from y'all.
It's all love.
You know what I'm saying? Like
We learned a lot from you.
Yeah.
I'll be on some. Listen, man, I'm going to go back after this. I'm going to go listen to the Jadakiss album. New Jadakiss is out now, too, man. Shout out Kiss.
Megan Thee Stallion, too.
Megan Thee Stallion. We did a Megan Thee
Yeah, we did
Stallion
Megan.
episode before that we pre-taped. You missed it, brother. We gave her flowers. Don't undercut me when I'm trying to shout out the God Jadakiss from Yonkers, man. All right? Nah, I'm just messing with y'all.
Can you do the laugh? Can you do the laugh?
Hell no. I appreciate y'all, though, man.
Appreciate
thank you for
too.
coming.
Thanks for having
thanks
us.
for having us.
And thank y'all for watching once again. You know how it goes. Go in the comments. Tell me your favorite songs, your favorite bars. Y'all see me in there every week. I'm in the comments with y'all. Even when y'all be saying like foul things about me. But we in there, man. I could take a joke and I joke back. But till next week, man, check us out For the Record. Peace.